Okay, we are in week 6, I believe. Yes, week 6, the penultimate week of the Forge. This is a low tier draft, and my opponent is Owl. And you can see right away that they are lacking speed. They don't have anything faster than base 100. Their fastest is Typhlosion Hisui, which could make a good Scarfer. They have a few only 2 Scarf options with Samurott and Typhlosion. Funnily enough, Owl decided to draft some sort of theme team with like the 3 Hisuian starters. So that's fun. So what I'm going to do here is to make sure that I don't get run over by Scarf Typhlosion. That's it. And maybe prevent any crazy wall breaking from Dragalge. That could be scary. And especially the Samurott was one of the more expensive mons in the draft. You gotta watch out for that Ceaseless Edge spam. So this is what I'm gonna do. First, we have Quillfish. This is to get up spikes then die. Kind of a suicide lead here. Spikes will be really good for that Hallow Sand, because as you'll see, the rest of my team is not that effective versus Hallow Sand. Poison Jab is to hit the Decidueye and the Florges. Poison Chance is nice. And Taunt is to stop their own hazard stacking, especially from Fortress. Now we have Mixed Guacabilly. This is just a Guts Facade set, and I have Heat Wave to cover the Fortress. Everything else is just support options. The speed allows me to outspeed Articuno and Samurott. And now we have an Assault Vest Tauros. I was trying to trigger Anger Point because there's quite a few opportunities with Owl's team. So it's a mostly offensive one. Raging Bull, Earthquake, Close Combat, Ironhead gives me the best coverage. And the speed allows me to outspeed Typhlosion, which is why I'm running Earthquake. With this, I'm able to switch into Eruption twice. Now we have Substitute plus 3 attacks, Electrode. This is just to take advantage of their lack of speed. In fact, I don't even need to invest in anything for Electrode to outspeed his entire draft. So that's why I went for max special attack and max HP. Dual Stab is really good here. The only thing I'd have to worry about is maybe AV or Spadef Coil Electros, and as well as, of course, Florges. But that's why Volt Switch will allow me to get in my fighter plane, who deals with those very easily. And now for my Terra Captain, Triogonal, Freeze Dry Spam, and Rapid Spin to deal with the Ceaseless Edge spam. Ancient Power gives me a way to hit Typhlosion and Articuno, and recovers just to keep me healthy. They have quite a few dangerous special attackers, the Typhlosion, the Palossand, and the Florges. I don't have haste to stop Calm Mind, so I'll have to be very diligent with my Squawkabilly if it comes to that. So with all those special attackers in mind, my Terra type will be Poison, because you don't want Dragalge accidentally poisoning you with Sludge Bomb. It also synergizes well with Levitate. I think I've ran a Terra Poison Cryogonal before in this league. So yeah, you know what it does. And lastly, we have Choice Mabostic. Just spam Crunch. Hone Claws is if I get knocked off or tricked. I believe one of these mons can manipulate. Oh yeah, Samurott. Samurott has knockoff, so perhaps if he knocks me off, I can just own claws and do something with that. So yeah, that's the team. Let's get to the battle. So no Samurott and no Typhlosion, which is very strange. That's mainly what I prepped for. There is the Dragalge though, and the Palossand. So those will be the prime threats. I decided to just lead with Squawkabilly because it's looking like it's going to be a fortress lead from them. So I get the play right, and there I just land my Heat Wave. He just gets up hazards. And here, yeah, that was not a good switch. So here I used Heat Wave to trigger Sturdy, and then over here I'm like, well, I can just go for a Guts Boosted Facade now. It's gonna kill Fortress anyway. And for some reason he decides to save the Fortress and send out Dragalge. So I let out a huge Guts Facade. And there goes his strongest special attacker. So Owl was surprised that it was a mixed Squawkabilly, as you can see from his reaction in the chat, his incoming reaction. But I thought it would the Flame Orb would give away my Facade. And I guess he was not paying attention to my burn status. Now comes Articuno. I'm thinking, well, it's not the Terra Captain. His Terra Captain is this Typhlosion and Decidueye. So maybe he's just banking on the max physical defense set to tank one. But I figured, well, since there's no Florges anymore, I can just get off a huge chunk. This will help out Cryogonal a lot. But it turns out to be Scarf Articuno, a very nice spring. And I, in fact, did not do the Guts Facade. I ran a calc and saw that Facade didn't kill. That's why I was going to try the Parting Shot into Tauros, maybe trigger the Anger Point from Freeze Dry. But now with Fortress out, I just go into Cryogonal and try to fish for an Ancient Power boost. Over there, I just Terra right away so that I don't have to deal with Stealth Rock. And if you look at this positioning, Cryogonal kind of just wins versus the rest of Owl's team. It's a Scarf Articuno, so unless it has Roost, it's not going to be able to stall out my Ancient Powers. This Electros is the only thing stopping Cryogonal, but even then it doesn't have recovery, as you can see. So it's going to slowly die, and I have all it can respond with is Flamethrower. So yes, everything will just slowly die to Cryogonal. It's looking like a wrap here. But in the next turn, I make a really bad play. I was scared of him continuing to Flamethrower and fishing for a burn. Not like the burn would have changed anything, but I was scared nonetheless. So I swapped into Fodder, only to get Volt switched on. And now comes Decidueye. I have no idea what it does. I'm aware of its signature move, but it's not that crazy. So instead of going for a Scarf Play Rough, I decided to just switch into Tauros, maybe to like scout for the Terra. But it instead bulks up. I'm like, oh, that's alright. I have Electrode and Squawkabilly. I have quite a lot of people that outspeed it, so you can boost all you want. And there's the Terra Ground, so that Electrode is even better. And then it reveals Trailblaze. I'm like, uh-oh, now what do I do? So the correct answer here would have been to switch into Cryogonal. It in fact would resist all of its potential moves. Bulk up, Trailblaze, and then maybe Dual Stab, like fighting and Ground Terra Blast. Or it could have Roost, but either way, none of those moves would hurt Cryogonal. That would have been the right play, but I was stubborn and I was thinking there's no way this bulk up Decidueye can go ham on me. So I just continued attacking it with very little benefit to that. He just keeps boosting, and now I'm scared. I just mindlessly attacked it as it got to +3. Over here, now I know he's gonna go for the kill, so I just sack off and bossed it. So now it comes down to this. Does Decidueye have a move that can kill my Cryogonal? If so, then I just got 6-0'd. Triple arrows? I live, but does it flinch? That was really close. And with that, I just need to get Cryogonal healthy, and then he wins the game. But yeah, that was so close. I misplayed versus that Decidueye and versus that Electros. If Cryogonal stayed in, Decidueye had no chances of setting up. And looking back at it, it was actually a roll. So Cryogonal had a chance to not live that, and that would have been an embarrassing way to go out. So over here, we just play around with his switching. It's a pretty much solved game from here. Electrode can use his dual stab to threaten everything, and Cryogonal is just an emergency backup. It can heal up versus everyone except for the Articuno. So yeah, that's pretty much it then. So yeah, don't be stubborn. When you see something setting up, you should switch to something that actually answers that setup and not just spam the same thing over and over. As you can see, yes, it was a big roll. I was at 88%. Yes, that was the roll. So yeah, very close game. But with that, that actually guarantees me to make it to the playoffs. There's still one more week ahead of me, but I am now secured for the playoffs with my Mono Intimidate team. Very fun stuff. Very fun stuff.